Welcome back, my lovelies. I hope you're having a beautiful autumn. Today I'm taking you along as I reset my china cabinet for fall with a blue and white theme and decorate it with a mix of new, thrifted, and antique pieces. I had an idea of what I wanted to use, so I collected the various items on the dining table ahead of time and emptied the cabinet so we would have a nice blank canvas to work with. This cabinet is in my dining room between the twin fall trees we decorated together earlier this year. It's gotten a few dings from both everyday life and cat mischief, so before starting, I did dust it and wipe it down and used some Restore a Finish to clean up some marks. This truly is like magic the way it virtually erases dings and scratches, and it's particularly useful for those of us with cats. I was struggling a little to do this one-handed with the camera, but I think you can see how incredibly effective this is. Highly recommended. This little string of mercury glass pumpkins is hanging from some tiny 3M hooks. I'm just using them like a little garland. These came from Hobby Lobby last year, and I did see them in store again earlier this season if you are interested in them. I added my vintage wine glasses on either side of the top shelf and then set this beautiful thrifted platter in place as a central backdrop. Do you remember when I thrifted this? It was such a mess before I cleaned it up. I tried two pieces from my antique ironstone collection in front of it, as I often like something with height in that central top shelf location, but I wasn't thrilled with how much of the plate they were blocking, so I tried this beautiful pumpkin instead. It has the most stunning stem. The glass looks like a piece of ribbon candy the way it curls across the top. You can get these at the Corning Museum of Glass here in New York State, and I've also seen similar versions at Home Goods and other places. This piece really is a work of art. I moved down to the next shelf with this stunning antique flow blue platter and decided to try putting 3 of my ironstone tureens across that center shelf. These typically live on my little corner display, the étagère, but that is done up differently for fall right now. Bub noticed the cabinet door was open and took advantage. The little stinker knows he's not supposed to get in there. Of course, I wiped it down after removing him.
Bye-bye.
Some of you have asked what I use my blue sideboard to store, and as you can see, it's a great place to keep china and other table setting pieces. This is my wedding china. It's the Virwang Imperial Scroll by Wedgwood. I'm really lucky to have a large, complete set, but today I'm going to use just a couple plates as risers on either side of this shelf. On top, I'm placing my very favorite pieces in my collection, these antique Dorothy pattern Johnson Brother tureens I found when thrifting in New Hampshire. I know I've shared these before, but they just delight me, and I want to show them to you again and make sure anyone new gets a really good look. I felt the bottom of this lower shelf needed some texture, so I grabbed one of these gorgeous velvet quilted placemats that I picked up at the end of season last year at either TJ Maxx or Home Goods or one of those. The coffee pot and chocolate pot, which is the one on the right, they work much better down here, and you can see I added a few other elements. I also switched the center tureen and the glass pumpkin, and I love the way this works. Some blue velvet pumpkins, those little salt and pepper shakers I thrifted with you in a recent video, and the mushroom candle holders that I DIY'd last year strike a really nice balance with the golds, blues, and whites. And the mushroom candle holders I DIY'd last year strike a really nice balance with the golds, blues, and whites. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I think the last touch needs to be something on the door that will bring the orange color across from the trees on either side. I used this pretty pip garland wreath from a little backwoods country boutique in Vermont with a bow of the same orange ribbon, and I think it adds just the right touch. Thank you so much for coming along with me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.
We were dancing in the dark with a feeling